Three. Hi there. Welcome to the Financial Advantage podcast powered by the Wells Funding Group. This is Dennis Wells. I'm super excited today to have Brian Cunningham with us. He owns his own realty group, BAC Realty Group, and I'm looking forward to Brian learning more about you and hearing your story. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Awesome. So how did you get into the business of real estate?
So I started as a leasing agent back in May of 2014.
Okay.
I did that for a few months, decided to get my broker's license, switched brokerages, and just been taking off. And it just made it'll be 10 years in about 2 weeks.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, when did you start BAC Realty Group?
That started 5 years ago.
Okay.
So it's actually, I think it was on my wife's birthday, March 13th. I left
Nice.
one of the large brokerages, just wanted to be on my own, control how things are done, and possibly have something to leave behind for my kids.
I love it. So what have been some of the big changes in going from working for someone else or under someone else in a brokerage to managing your own?
Control, just being able to take control of your business. One example that I'll give you, a few years back, one of my attorney partners had a client. It was a divorce sale, and it was myself and another realtor that were competing for the business. And I was able to give them a rate that was much lower than hers as far as commissions go. It was competitive, but I would have had to have gotten approval from my managing broker if I was still somewhere else. So being able to take the bull by the horn and say, this is what we're going to do, and not waiting for anybody to sign off on it, that was one of the greatest things. And then even from the very beginning, when I first started, I had a listing in Ashburn where I grew up at, family friends, and getting that check with my company's name on it, not having to wait for somebody else to process it and wait for them to send me what I earned, it was a great feeling. So I knew I made the right decision.
I love it. Many times when I'm talking with successful realtors like yourself, they tend to see themselves as entrepreneurs. And so that's what I would ask is, are you an entrepreneur? And if so, what does that mean to you?
Definitely am. Definitely an entrepreneur. It's up to me. If I choose not to work today or tomorrow, if I choose to sit around and play Madden or want to play basketball all week, I'm going to feel the effects of that in 2 to 3 months because I didn't plant the seeds. So yes, it is what we are first and foremost.
Very good. Now, where do you think the entrepreneurial spirit came from for you?
It came from my Uncle Butch.
Okay.
He unfortunately just passed away a couple weeks ago, but he was the one that was willing to take a chance. And a lot of times people didn't have the vision that he had, but seeing him do it and make it work, he moved to California, and he was able to sustain his own lifestyle by his efforts. He didn't have to rely on a check every week or every 2 weeks. So seeing him do it, it drove me to believe that I could do it too.
Yeah, and that's part of why I do the podcast is, that obviously I enjoy getting to meet great people like you, but my hope is through the podcast that someone's going to listen and that, like talking about planting that seed, and someone will, be able to say, if they can do it, I might be able to do it as well, and take that step of faith.
Well, I hope someone definitely gets that from today or from this podcast. I like to always encourage people to believe in themselves. Bet on yourself, put the effort in, put the networking in, put the long nights in, the early mornings, and just believe that it will work out.
Yeah, 100%. I've always felt that way too. Like if I can invest in myself, if I can bet on myself, I would rather do that than hope that if I do these things that someone else will take care of me.
It's all about faith. It's all about
Yeah.
faith, but they always told me faith without works is dead. So you got to have the
Yep.
faith and work in.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Um, Now, do you have other agents in your brokerage or on your team?
Yes, I do have another agent at this time and an aspiring leasing agent coming up.
I love it. I love it. So, what advice would you give to newer agents or someone who might be looking to get into the business?
Don't think that it's going to happen overnight. I think a lot of people can watch the different shows on Netflix or HGTV, and they think that it just happens. They think they're going to just get $1 million list out of nowhere. They think that they'll be driving whatever luxury car they want to off of a few sales, or some think they're going to get off a few leases. It takes time to build it up. If you're fortunate enough that you do hit the ground running and you do get a couple of big sales, save your money. It is very easy to get comfortable spending quickly when you're waiting on things to close, but it takes that first crash when a deal dies before you get to a closing table over something that you did not anticipate. So I would tell them to save their money, network with everyone, and keep learning. Every time you can take a class, not just for continuing ed, but every time you get into a class, take it. Just keep looking to learn and build.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I was listening to an interview with Rene Rodriguez maybe a couple of months ago, and someone mentioned that his overnight success, tongue in cheek, and he's like, "Yes, it took me 12 years to become an overnight success." It's the investment that we make every day that eventually hits critical mass.
And you just have to keep plowing away at it.
Yeah,
It I mean, 10 years went by so quickly. And I know I had my ups and my downs along the way. I met some great people, got a lot of help along the way to get to this point. And that's what keeps me pushing. It's like just understanding I got through the worst days. So just keep doing what I've been doing, but also look to get better every day as well.
yeah, I think that the theme of continual improvement that you brought up there, reading and learning and growing, not just for continuing education that we have to do every year to keep our license, but to go above and beyond so that we are more valuable to our clients and to the marketplace.
Agreed 100%. Got to keep going.
Yeah. So speaking of that, what are some things that you do to add value to your clients that are different than what a normal agent might do?
Well, one of the things I've been doing a lot lately is just giving people that reassurance, because right now I have a few deals where people are unsure if it's going to actually see the closing table, and it affects so many other people. They have families that they have to move. People that they're buying from have to move. And although they're not the reason for things going as slow as they are, you got to help them calm down, got to help them relax. So I think that I'm good at just giving people some positivity and reassuring them that it all will work it out. They've done what all that they can do. And now, let your faith do the rest of the work. Um, the rest of it is I'm big on connections. So a lot of times, in Chicago, we always say, I got a guy. I got a guy. I think I've got a guy, and sometimes a lady too, that
Yep.
can help in whatever way you may need. It may be painting your home. It may be furnishing your home. It may be the car. It may be someone that can help your kids get into the school. I think that is where I show my value. I'm not just concerned with writing up a contract and getting a check. I genuinely care about my clients. I thank them for trusting me with what will probably be their largest purchase of their life or largest sale of their life. So I just try to do more for them. Try to be there. It's not about for me, like everyone was a lot of, I don't say everyone, a lot of people took off yesterday because it's a holiday. And a lot of times you'll find that people are taking off the day before the holiday, the day after the holiday. My phone stays on. And if I hear it, I'm going to answer. If I don't, I'm going to call you back or text you. So I think as Charles Barkley says, the best ability is availability. So I
Yep.
try to stay available to my clients and help them beyond just buying and selling real estate.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that I don't remember who it was that said it, but 90% of success is showing up. It's answering your phone, or obviously nobody can answer their phone every single time, but calling people back, being communicative, is just tremendous. And I guess a pet peeve is like when you're calling someone, who's in the business and their mailbox is full. You're like, I mean, I know it's hard, because I get a lot of calls as well, and I've got to keep, trimming it down. But, it's like, people want to know that they're important and that you're not too busy for them. And, answering when you can, but certainly calling back or sending a text is huge.
Yes, and you have to enforce that. It doesn't matter if it's a lease of a small apartment or if they're buying a multi-unit building. Every deal you should treat that person the way that you would want to be treated.
Yep.
Just going back to the golden rule: treat people like you want to be treated. And if you don't have enough respect and love for yourself, then treat people better than what you want to be treated.
Yep. Yeah, and you never know what what one deal is going to lead to, because very big on referral based, marketing. Our selling system is really built on, I want to provide the best possible experience for you in the home financing process, so that just a natural outcome of that is that you want to tell other people, to give us a call, your friends, family, coworkers, because, there's a, again, whether you're on the real estate side, whether you're on the lending side, there's a lot of people that do what we do, but there are very few that care the way we care, and, have the passion to see our clients really succeed. Because I tell folks, it's not simply about helping you buy this house. It's literally helping you create wealth. And one thing that I'm going to be doing is being your full-time debt manager. You might have a financial manager that that takes care of the things on the positive side on your balance sheet, but I'm going to be your debt manager. I'm going to be helping you, minimize debt, minimize the cost of borrowing over time, replacing bad debt with good debt, and replacing expensive debt with cheaper debt. So that at the end of the day, you're able to leverage the money that you're investing to a greater degree.
You need someone that would do that, because a lot of folks will gladly help you get the $200,000 or $300,000 you need for a property, and then they're gone in the wind.
Yeah.
So it is imperative that we have people that actually care beyond the closing.
Yeah. And I actually feel like it's an ethical responsibility that if I helped you create this $300,000 debt, say, and to not come alongside you and help you manage that, and proactively work with you to look for solutions that maybe you're not here now, but maybe here in 8 months or a year, that could either lower the amount of money that you're paying in interest, or pay off the house sooner, or both, or create cash flow. That's what people need. And and that's my goal, is to be that debt manager for folks, and make sure that they that they get to a point where they have financial freedom. They have the house that they want free and clear. They have enough money to retire and can enjoy the later years of life, for sure.
Sorry, I think you may have cut off.
Oh, are you still there?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
You.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, cool. So yeah, just helping people grow wealth through real estate is huge for me.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. Um, well, very good. So I know that a lot of people hearing our podcast today, I'm sure we want to know how they could get a hold of you, learn more about your business, maybe talk to you about being a part of what you're doing in real estate. What's the best way for someone to get a hold of you?
My cell phone number is 773-447-6308. I do get a lot of scam likely calls, so I typically have to listen to the voicemail and call back. Email is info@bacrg.com. They can catch me on Facebook, Brian Anthony Cunningham, or they can catch me on Instagram, Chicago Luxury Realtor.
Love it. Love it. Well, Brian, thank you so much for being with us here today. Thank our listeners for listening. If you have not subscribed already, we'd be honored if you would subscribe to our podcast here, The Financial Advantage. We are powered by the Wells Funding Group. You can reach myself and the team at our direct number, 219-230-8400, or wellsfundinggroup.com. Brian, thank you again so much. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much, sir. You have a great day.
All right, thanks. You too. Bye-bye.